do think people are more willing to accept or believe in a physical ailment versus like something that is happening mentally, especially um, given that these same communities might be interested in like spirituality and Vedanta, and works that really work on your inner self. Where do you think that, why do you think there's that barrier over there? And like, what can one do to bridge that?
Yeah. So one thing I would say too, in terms of like why um, maybe there's less help seeking in terms of mental health, is
Yeah.
a lot of these things that you were talking about, like whether it's Vedanta, whether it's Ayurveda, any kind of spiritual or ancient traditional practices, those are often the first go to. Like if something is wrong, then that's probably like like often people in my own family I've heard will say like, oh, if you're not feeling, if you're feeling really bad, pray. Right. And I think that's not limited to just South Asians. I think that's like any family that has religious beliefs, right? They
Yeah.
often say pray. And I think that's great. And it can be a coping skill. And at the same time, like, there are other things that need to be done so you can work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think spirituality and Vedanta and stuff is great. And it's definitely used as the first response before we get to like the therapist or like the mental health professional.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that's kind of what's been used, right? Generationally, culturally. Um, like I even thinking back to like many, many centuries or hundreds of years ago, like there was not really like mental health wasn't even like a thing, right?
Yeah.
Um, and maybe it was just because it wasn't talked about. Maybe it was just because there were all these other inbuilt coping skills that were already there and people were using them. But I think that there's unique challenges for folks who have migrated outside of India because there's less of a connection and less access to that too.
Mm-hmm.